we are gathered here on the virtual platform of Google Meet, and the topic of today's webinar is SAP ERP and career opportunities beyond coding. The guest speaker of our today's webinar is Prasad Deshpande sir. Prasad sir have also completed his diploma and degree in computer science engineering, and he's been working with Wipro Technologies since 2013, and he have enough knowledge about SAP ERP, which is today's topic. So, without any further delay, I would like to hand over the session to Prasad sir, and I would request him to start the session. Prasad sir, you can start.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Apurva. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Prasad here, Prasad Deshpande. I'm a computer science engineering graduate. I've completed my engineering in 2012, and before that, I was a computer science diploma holder. So I is on the diploma students. Hopefully, I can match the wavelength of the diploma students here. So here today we are actually, as Apurva has already communicated, that our topic is basically the SAP ERP and the career opportunities beyond coding. So actually this webinar kind of thing, because I always believe that webinar should not be one-way communication. If it is in webinar, actually it's little bit difficult to communicate with the student, because we cannot see the live audience. We cannot check their live reactions as well. So this is little bit difficult, but yes, definitely we'll try to check that this seminar is going to be the interactive seminar. This webinar is going to be an interactive webinar, and it will not be a one-way communication. So the students, those who are actually for many of the students, definitely SAP is a very new topic, but some of the might be aware of it. We will cover all that from the primary perspective and from the little bit advanced perspective as well. If after the webinar session gets completed, if at all, whatever the questions you have, you can shoot those questions to either Apurva or by Apurva, or from the the management. It will come to me. So okay, then we'll start this one presentation. Let me my. Apurva, please confirm whether a screen is visible or not.
Yes, sir, it is visible. Please start the presentation.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
Okay, so as per our topic, today's topic is SAP ERP and career opportunities beyond coding. So in 2020, I think from last many of days, we are seeing one ad actually, that is Whitehead Junior, and they are claiming that from a childhood they can transform any of they can transform the child into a very from an amateur child to a professional coder, and they are claiming that once the the child joined that program, then he can become a successful coder. After that, I received a lot of questions from different parents and from my colleagues, also my friends also, who was working in IT and non-IT crowd also, whether really this kind of program, a coding program for a junior, or a coding program for a even in a grad, it's really mandatory or not. So if you ask me, Indian mentality, including I'm saying as engineers also, they do believe that working in IT means you are simply doing the coding. But and definitely it's not wrong, actually it's not simply coding, but there are different aspects. Yes, coding is one of the important aspect in that, but there are different aspects like beyond coding. There are the IT industry is huge. So coding is one integral part of IT industry, which is all definitely an important, but it is not the only matter, or it is not the only part. So whether when we are discussing all this, really there are many students. From my experience also, I was not that great coder when I was in college time. When I was in my college time, so I used to be hang out with networking part. I was good in networking part. I was good in database part. So, but definitely coding is not my cup of tea. So many students are there, in even in diploma engineering also, and even the engineering students as well. They might think that there are many students that they really don't like the coding, to do coding, because coding is basically an art. So not all the people are experienced in that art basically. So what exactly the coding is, and the one especially who are from computer science engineering, who are pursuing a diploma in computer science engineering, or who are pursuing a degree in computer science engineering, these people definitely tend to get tensed when they understood that they are not capable of doing a good coding, or they are not capable of become a good coder. So what exactly the pressure they are getting when they are pursuing that degree, I can understand completely. So having said that, since I already mentioned that the coding is not only a part of IT industry, there are different aspects, there are different approach in IT industry. So what kind of that approach are we are going to discuss in today's seminar. So agendas for today's webinar is career beyond coding. We are going to discuss the first topic, that is career beyond coding. The second topic will be what is ERP. The third topic is SAP ERP. The next topic, definitely the people, the students, the crowd, actually those who want to listen, is what exactly the career opportunities in SAP we have. Then I'll discuss some frequently asked questions on this particular SAP topic that I'm getting from many of the parents and many of the students as well. And after that, once everything is finished, then we can open our discussion topic. You can shoot out the questions, whatever you have in your mind. So firstly, let's discuss what exactly the career beyond coding is. I already told that the coding is just a small part of the entire IT industry. There are many other aspects as well. So beyond coding, many people who ask me what is exactly the beyond. When you are saying there are beyond coding, there are a lot of opportunities. What are exactly those opportunities are? So those opportunities are basically, there are n number of fields like a database, which I already discussed. The database is one of the major part where the students can what you can say go into that particular database field, and they are not really they really don't need to bother about the coding, what exactly the traditional coding we used to code. So the database is the part where the coding is not actually that much required. The second part, when it is coming as the networking part. So networking part is also an integral part where all the networks like the TCP/IP protocols, where the firewalls and your IPs, host, DNS, all this, it is coming into a networking aspect. So that aspect is also very important, because unless and until there is a networking glue which is applied in IT industry, nothing is going to communicate anywhere. So networking is another aspect. The third aspect which the IT industry mainly has is the the OS administration, the operating system administration, and operating system, the configurators. These are the another aspects where coding is actually not required. So these are three small aspects which, as a computer science graduate or as a computer science diploma holder, the students can target these areas. But having said that, only these aspects are there? No. The major aspect which we are going to discuss is the how exactly the major aspect is that is the ERP. Okay. So what exactly the ERP is now? So ERP is basically a enterprise resource planning. See, I'll tell you one example. You have what you can say, a big company running. For example, we are doing a Maruti Suzuki. If we are taking an example of Maruti Suzuki, so how exactly the company is running, entire company is running. Basically what is happening is the entire company is including their manufacturing process, how the cars are getting manufactured, how the employees are getting a salary, that HR perspective, how what you can say raw materials for building cars or for building another aspect, how they are going to take those raw materials. So all these aspects of an industry like Maruti Suzuki, who is building a car, so that industry is entirely run in a structured way in all the predefined sets of rules and regulation which is already installed and configured in the system in the server. That exactly the entire process of running a company into one particular process, this one is called as the ERP, and all this exactly has been configured into a one software which is called as ERP software. So for example, when I'm saying that, the another question might be raised in the students what you can say mind, that whether really an ERP software or ERP that server is responsible for making a cars. If you ask the question, yes, it is responsible. So there are certain other aspects also, like the leverages on what you can say. There are certain aspects like building a car, what you can say, there are small parts, service providers, then having a link with the service stations out there for the Maruti Suzuki. This is everything has been controlled in a structured way from that ERP software. So what that ERP software is, how exactly it is installed. So ERP software basically for many of the companies, like Suzuki is basically a South Korean company, but they want to they are already what you can say started their units in India, in Asia, in Europe, everywhere. So to communicate between all these units, manufacturing units, to with everything, definitely for that they required a networking also. So the complete combination of database, networking, operating system, then your coding, then your functional consultants, everything is a bundle which is we call as ERP, that is Enterprise Resource Planning. So in ERP, actually, there are a lot of ERPs available in the market. The Oracle has they have their own ERP. The SAP has their own ERP. Like in India, when we are talking about, they have Infosys, they have their own ERP. There are several small companies as well. They have their own ERP, that is Enterprise Resource Planning Software. But when it comes to the ERP giant, or when it comes to the most popular ERP solutions across the globe, that when we are talking about that, then only one single name it is coming. That name is SAP. So basically, SAP is systems, applications, and products. So this company is started in way back in 1970s in what you can say in Germany, Waldorf, Germany. So their headquarters is in Waldorf, Germany, and now the SAP is the most leading ERP software solution company in the world. So just let's see what exactly the SAP is, then probably you will get an idea on it. See, this is actually the SAP as a company. They used to publish certain corporate affairs brochure. So this is one of the corporate affairs brochure of SAP for year 2020. They published in October. So if you can see here, there are approximately 80% of the SAP customers, which are the customers the SAP is having. They are small and middle scale industries. And the numbers which we are talking, actually these are really fascinating numbers. If I'm zooming in, you can also see the 92% of the Forbes global 2000 companies, they use SAP ERP as their product, as their software, to run their daily business show or to run their entire company. Then 98% of the top 100 most valuable brands, like the Apple, then what you can say, the Google or the Microsoft, somehow they in their all the integrated approach, somewhere in the integrated approach they are actually using SAP ERP as a solution. And the 97% of the greenest companies, they are also using SAP as a software, as their ERP software. So I'll not talk about the financial aspect most anyway, because this will be too business approach. We are not taking a business seminar. We are taking in just an introductory seminar. So I will just give one small information. Yeah, this is the small this information. So how big the SAP is actually, you will get by numbers. So let the numbers speak actually. So SAP, 78% of the world's food chain or world's food supply is going via SAP software. Okay, and 82% of the world's medical devices has been supplied via SAP software. So you can imagine how vast and how immense this SAP as an ERP approach is. So this complete solution, SAP as an ERP solution, they run into different what you can say geographies. They run into a different aspect. They run into different businesses as well. So I have already given the example of an automobile industry. The SAP has already mentioned about the 78% of the food industry and the medical industry. SAP themselves, they have mentioned into this one. And one of the most fascinating part is the 77% of the world's entire transaction, whatever the transaction it is actually happening in entire world, it revenue touches 77% of the revenue touches via on the SAP system. So whatever the transaction is happening, whether it's a bank transaction, whether it's a payment for a vendor, whether it's a payment for any of the company, whatever it is, you can have n number of combination for the financial transaction. It is actually touching somewhere or the other in an SAP system. It is getting updated into an SAP system. So basically you can say that the entire world industry has been driven predominantly by SAP as a software solution. So this exactly, then from this aspect, you might get then small idea what exactly the SAP is, what exactly SAP as a company is. So just see what exactly when we are talking about this SAP. Okay, we have discussed that. Okay, SAP, how big is it is, what kind of solution, what kind of ERP actually SAP is providing, that we have touched high level, very high level. We are not going into a deep aspect. So just turn into what exactly, how exactly the solution is. You might be aware that, okay, you might be thinking that, okay, as a I have the mobile phone in my hand, how exactly I'm using SAP basically when I am purchasing. For example, if you are what you can say booking a smartphone, if you're booking a smartphone from an Amazon, you definitely will think, okay, whether I'm really touching SAP system, how exactly it is working, how exactly the backend it is working. So let's see. See, this actually is a small diagram, very small diagram of how exactly the SAP ERP solution work. Okay, so if you can see over here, these are the end users basically. End users are like customers, like we are also a customer for many. This one, we are a banking customer, we are CRM, like what you can say Amazon services, then Flipkart. We are the customer of those services as well. So basically we are the end users and customer. So we are interacting via either web browser, or what you can say we are interacting via mobile phone apps. And those all the mobile phone apps and this interaction will go via all the web protocols, which already might be, you might be aware of the protocols. I'm not sure about the courses which you are having, but you might be aware about the protocols, which web protocols like HTTP, HTTPS. We are doing all our transaction via secured layer in HTTPS. So all this transaction will go from these web protocols, and from a communication layer called SaaS, it will go into a final ERP solution or final ERP product, where this ERP product will all the your entries, whatever you are accessing, whether you are booking something, whether you are paying something, every record will be updated into an ERP solution, into an ERP software. So in our scenario, when we are discussing about the SAP, we are discussing about the SAP ERP. So ERP here is SAP ERP. So all these transactions were in what you can say recorded into this ERP. And what exactly the ERP is? ERP basically, it's just a software. It is taking a data from a database, it is fetching a data from a database, and then it is forwarding it to the concerned department. Like here, our scenario is whatever the, from example, we have booked a telephone from a mobile from an Amazon app. So our request went from this layer, and it went up to ERP. Okay, so ERP software grab that particular request, and that particular request, then that request is forwarded to database team to check the records, whether that mobile is available into a database, because everything at the end of the day it will update into a database. So once the query has been fetched from the database, okay, the result will come, it will again go to ERP, then ERP will check that result, and it transferred it to what you can say the web into the particular app which we are getting. So whatever the results we are seeing in our Amazon what you can say Amazon app or a Flipkart app, it has been accessed via all these layers within a fraction of seconds. So you'll imagine how complicated it is. It's a simple diagram, but it's a complicated architecture basically. So via these all layers, the communication will happen. So this exactly from a layman perspective, like we are just doing an introductory session. So from the layman perspective, this exactly how the SAP works in our normal day-to-day life. Okay, so now you understand that what exactly the ERP is, how ERP is working in a normal situation, and what exactly the SAP ERP is, and how it is working in our normal day-to-day life. So definitely, as I mentioned that SAP requires a lot of consultants, a lot of manpower, a lot of different aspects, and what you can say opportunities as well. So when I'm discussing that, let's discuss what kind of crowd is basically required in our SAP ERP to function our SAP ERP software. So here actually we are basically engineers. We are doing a computer science engineering course, and many of the students are interested in coding department. Many of the students are interested into a database, into networking. So basically, we are the technical people. We are the technical background. So our job is basically as an engineer or as a technical consultant. Our job is to handle the technical aspect of any ERP software. So when we are talking about a technical aspect, there must be a different aspect that is actually communicating to a business. So the second aspect for that business is basically a functional aspect. That is a functional team. So there are two aspects, two predominant aspect in any of the SAP ERP or software solution. One is a technical approach, one is a technical team, technical aspect, and another is the functional aspect. So technical aspect, as we already discussed, that in technical aspect, most of the engineering background students or most of the technical student, like doing the computer courses or the whatever, like MCA or something, these people are basically responsible for the technical backgrounds, to handle the technical backgrounds. And in the technical background, which we already discussed, what is the coding, the the database solution, the networking solution, the OS administration, and finally the most important is ERP, SAP administration as well. Coming back to the functional team, so for example, just now we took an example of Amazon. Took an example of Amazon. So in Amazon, basically, it's a software, it's a company which is providing all kind of goods, like right from grocery to a technical aspect, to a mobile, to a TV, or to anything. All kind of provides a vast range of products. Amazon is basically selling from their app and from their what you can say, um, website as well. So apart from all this, what you can say, the CRM aspect of Amazon, there are other Amazon aspects also. So the web services and everything they are providing. So Amazon is having a versatile, diversified business. So to, as a technical, because you might be thinking that okay, we are managing all this one, but as a technical person, we are not responsible. We cannot do we cannot check the functional aspect of these business. So because we are not aware how exactly the functional aspect is working over here. So for example, might be what you can say, to check their balance sheet, to maintain all the transaction, to maintain the cash flow of it, definitely some finance person is required. So finance person, when we are talking, this finance person can validly range from a CA to a finance consultant to a MCOM graduate or a finance graduate, anywhere. Okay, so finance graduate, definitely yes, they are required. So for marketing their own products, marketing person is required. For sales, to check the sales and the sales division, how exactly sale is happening, sale person is required. Person are required. So there are all these aspects which is coming into financial, which is coming into functional aspect. This has been handled by the other people which are really not from a technical background. Okay, so what kind of person they are? Yes, they required MCOM graduates or a finance graduate, and what you can say, they required, for example, managing, paying the customer salary, paying the salary of an employee, and managing the employees for their this one, then career opportunities, everything. So HR is required. So all these aspects like HR, finance, sales, all these aspects are coming into a functional domain of SAP, which is called as SAP functional side. So we discuss about the two opportunities. Those are the technical opportunities and the functional opportunities. So we are really not bothering about. Okay. This is actually what exactly our situation. Like we have discussed all this about. So SD, the sales, and this one, the material management, whatever, what you can say, the raw materials are coming and everything it is coming, it should be handled via department, as a material management department. Then finance controlling and everything. All these aspects are coming in one particular portion, that is the functional portion. So this actually, the people who are responsible for running the business approach from SAP software. So many of the time, what happening is like, some of the technical consultants, like in SAP, we used to say the terminology, like we used to use the terminology that techno functional consultant. Like for example, one coding, a person who is doing a coding over there, so that person can also manage, for example, a human resource area. So all this human resource configuration, what are HR specific configuration which we need to do into this particular system, these people can do it. So coding and doing the HR side configuration, maybe one person is responsible for that. So this aspect actually, techno-functional aspect, many of the technical consultants are also going for this aspect. So basically, as an engineer, we means very few times it is happening that a technical background person might be switching into a, what you can say, our functional background, into a different this one domain. So here, as a diploma, this one on a diploma level, on an engineering level, we will mostly concentrate on the technical part. Okay, so what exactly the technical part? So that is the programming. So again, it is coming. So our, you might be thinking that our topic is SAP beyond coding, but this guy is always talking about the coding and also. Okay, let's finish this coding part in one single shot itself. So what exactly the coding is? What kind of coding is it is used in SAP? A programming language called ABAP, a SAP specific programming language called ABAP. It is used in what you can say SAP area as a coding coding platform for building a what you can say a software, so screens for SAP specific ERP specific this one approach. So ABAP, we can go for those who actually love for coding. They can go in ABAP stream definitely, and they can start building their own products. They can start they can start building their own what is the screens and everything, own forms. All this can be done via the ABAP domain. The other aspect is which I what you can say discussed is that is controlling of all this entire servers, entire softwares. So that aspect is came from our this one, what you can say, administration. That is a SAP ERP administrator. So SAP ERP administrator, he will be responsible for managing entire SAP landscape, SAP systems, to so that it will be available across the globe for 24 by 7 support or 365 days. The system will be available every time whenever the end user is trying to access the system. Okay, so this actually is a little what you can say little in detail idea about how exactly the SAP is and what kind of modules SAP incorporate within themselves. So now the another question is like all might be thinking that okay, what this is okay, somehow we understood, we digest that okay, this is the SAP ERP, it is working, and these are the, what you can say, the field where we can go. But everybody at the end of the day, whether it's a graduate or undergraduate student, definitely they will ask one question to everyone, that what exactly the career opportunities are in SAP. So when we are talking about the career opportunity, there are hell lot of there are a huge career opportunities available in SAP. When I'm saying that huge career opportunities are available in SAP, having said that, you have to choose a correct opportunity which is suitable for your profile. So when I'm quoting this particular line, what exactly does it mean? So for example, like students, there are a number of students who might be from a mechanical background, who might be from the electronics background, who might be from a different background, those who are not from the computer science background. So they can choose their own career via different, like in SAP also they can choose their career in a different way. Like a mechanical graduate, or the person who is aware about the mechanical engineering terms and everything, if he is going to a core industry area like automobile industry, or what you can say any manufacturing industry, he knows the domain and domain knowledge about the manufacturing industry, how exactly that industry works. So that guy, if we are asking that guy, okay, you just quit this and start learning a coding or start learning a system administration, it doesn't make any sense for that particular what you can say guy. So what he can do is, he can do a certification, or he can choose what you can say um, he can choose the courses particularly into his domain specific courses. For example, if he want to do a production planning, or if he want to do material this one side, then he can go for a certification or course in available, which is available into SAP. so that a mechanical engineer can also accommodate into an SAP, and he can also start working into SAP platform as a SAP consultant. So his consulting will be SAP functional consultant. Okay. So he can learn he can learn the what you can say, the certification approach, the certification and the courses from his particular area of expertise, and he can start working into SAP field with a in a function in a functional what you can say, in a functional domain. So when we are talking about the computer specific things, computer engineer specific things, they can start, they have the vast number of career opportunities, and they can start their opportunities via in any of the field like ABAP. Those who are interested in coding, they can go for ABAP coding specific stuff. Those who are not interested into coding platform, sorry, one important aspect I will discuss are those who are actually want to do a coding in a mobile platform like mobile coding and this what you can say app specific stuff. They can go for a SAP UI or SAP what you can say mobility platform. Those are also available for these students. And the people like me, those who are not really not interested in the programming background to do programming, they can definitely go for the administration, the system administrator part. So from last 7 years, 7.5 years, actually I'm working as a SAP system administrator only, and my job is to make sure that the system is up and running always without any issues 24/7. So this system administration approach also the people can go. The another aspect into a system administrator, which is the what you can say the different approach than a conventional system administrator, that is a GRC. Okay, so GRC and the SAP securities. So definitely for the SAP system, when it is coming for the big system, big servers, definitely there are a number of risks are there. The person can attack a system and can attack a SAP system. To avoid that, those kind of attacks or any kind of, there are SAP securities courses are also there. The students can reach out to those SAP security courses, and they can learn this SAP security stuff. Maybe they can go for a certification as well, and via this way, they say the students can join into the SAP specific program. Okay, so let's discuss about, so once we have now discussed about the career opportunities available in SAP, so let's discuss about some frequently asked question, which I used to get it from many, like from last 3-4 years, from many of the people, like from students, from their parents, and from the one aspirants who want to join an IT industry, computer graduate student, computer engineers. So why only SAP? The first question I used to get, it's a very predominant question. Why only SAP? So as we already discussed in those slide, I already shown that how vast the SAP is actually currently in the market, how exactly it is running, how many companies already invested into SAP as their ERP software. So if we compare all these records, we can definitely, or we can safely say that SAP is a global leader. And when we can say that SAP, when we are saying that SAP is a global leader, definitely the number of opportunities in SAP specific domain, it will be more as compared to the other ERP solutions in the market. So for example, if you have completed the SAP certification or you have completed the SAP course, the number of getting the jobs or number of getting into an IT industry, into SAP as a career, it will increase as compared to any other ERP solutions available in the market. So that is a predominant reason I used to, that is a predominant statement I used to give to everyone, those who are asking why only SAP. And logically also it is correct, I believe. And which model should I pursue? We have already discussed which kind of model should be pursued. So as I already told that the module which is actually what you can say in line with your career approach, in line with your area of stream, you can choose that aspect. So mechanical engineers can choose functional, or even the different engineers can, a non-technical background person can choose a functional module, functional, any of the functional module available in the SAP. And the technical person, the computer engineers, computer graduate, they can choose any of the modules which is available into a technical domain. The another question which I used to get is like, is SAP certification helps me in getting a job? So this actually it's not a straightforward yes or no question. If you ask me as a senior consultant, if you ask me, is a SAP certification helps me in getting a job for a fresher, I will say no, because in SAP for a fresher it is little difficult to get into to get an entry into SAP, any of the SAP stream. If you are having what you can say some experience on any of the ERP, any of the non-SAP ERP also, or a database, and then you are getting into SAP, it will be easy for you to grab all these changes, what exactly the ERP is. Because getting a grabbing the concept what exactly ERP is, it's little bit difficult for any freshers. So that is the main reason why company is not hiring any fresher, even if they have the SAP certification experience. I remember one of my friend, one of my school colleague who pinged me some 3-4 years back, and he was a mechanical graduate, mechanical engineering graduate, and he pinged me, यार ये अभी इतना इतना ऐसे ऐसे चल रहा है यार, क्या करूं मैं, what should I do? So shall I go for SAP certification? Same question he asked me also. Then I straightforwardly I told him, see, even if you are doing SAP certification, definitely you have to show some experience. So then he told, yes, I have certain experience into this smaller ERP. He named that ERP solutions also. So those ERP, I have some 1 or 2 years experience. Then I asked him, okay, that is great. Then you can proceed for any of the SAP certification. And if I remember, he pursued for courses, because he pursued for a course, and after that he went for a certification examination. He cracked that certification examination. Then some 3 or 4 months he struggled, and then he got into a very reputed company in Hyderabad, and he started working. Now he's, I think he switched his company. Now he's in a senior position, and really what you can say, his career path is really good. So this actually my predominant response for any certification specific queries which people are asking, whether really a certification helps you in getting a job. Yes, it will help you, but having said that, it should be in line with all your experience, and it should be in line with all your what you can say career path as well. The another question is like, when we are talking about okay, you just go enroll yourself into SAP courses, 90% of the students will used to ask me that, okay Prasad, that is okay, but the SAP courses are really expensive. And when we are talking about really expensive, is like some of the like the training, if you really want to get a training, end-to-end training, and then you want to go for a certification, might be it may cost you in lakhs. So definitely when this kind of big amount it is coming, almost everyone will hesitate or will think twice to before spending and before enrolling. So those who are actually asking me, should I go for expensive SAP courses? Again, my answer will be same in line with the certification answer, that if you have the required degree, after the required degree, if you have some experience into ERP specific domain or into this kind of domain, then definitely you can go for a course where you can enroll yourself into a course, and then you can proceed for the SAP certification examination. So that you will also have the leverage that, okay, I have also enrolled myself, so I have enough experience to go over there, and my money will not get went. So definitely, if you really want to join SAP course, it may help you, but please choose a right course, and please make sure that your background for that particular course is strong enough that it will be push for you in your bright future, in your bright career. The last question, almost everyone, there are almost the person who are working in IT industry, maybe a non-IT crowd, used to ask him how much salary I can earn. So same question I used to get, how much salary or how much money I can earn if I'm enrolling myself into such an expensive course, putting my all efforts, everything, putting everything on stake. So at the end of the day, how what it matters is like how much money I'm going to get it from that. So again, this is again, I will not comment on this specifically the amount which this one, but yes, if you really work hard to pursue the to pursue your career into SAP specific stuff, definitely you will get a really good amount of money. So when we are talking about a really good amount of money, is like you have to upgrade your skills every time. Like for example, one guy who has already completed a course in, for example, in ABAP or programming, this one, he got a job, and after that he continued that job and he didn't upgrade himself into this one. Now the thing is, now the mobility, mobile softwares are coming, the mobile apps are coming. These coding which he learned 5 years ago, this is now outdated. So for him, he has to learn a new techniques like a mobile. So whenever you are in SAP, whenever you are in ERP, whenever you are in any of the IT industry, you have to make sure that you always upgrade your skills every after 6 months, every after 1 year, and try to do as much hands-on as possible for you to enrich your resumes also, so that it will be good for you to get a good opportunities. That only I can say about this. I think we have discussed a lot about this SAP, what exactly the SAP is. We have started at this one. My time slot is for 50 minutes. So we have completed our 50 minutes for discussion, what exactly the SAP and what exactly the ERP is. Hopefully, the people who didn't slip in my seminar, in my webinar, hopefully these people might have got little idea what exactly the SAP and the career opportunities available in SAP. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I really, what you can say, like to convey my regards to Purva and to the team, to her team, to ask me to take this seminar. So I hope we can go for an open discussion if at all any questions are there.
Yes, sir. So few students have some questions.
Yeah.
So they will ask the question now. Ankit, sir.
Students, you can ask your question here.
Yes, sir. So my question is, to get best opportunity, which language course we should follow?
Which language course you used to follow? Okay, fine. So you're asking from a non-SAP perspective, I'll tell you. So basically, first you have to figure it out whether you are really interested into a language course or not. So yeah, or you are really interested in any of the, what you can say, programming skills or not, programming language you are good in not. So accordingly, you can choose any of the course. Currently, if you ask me, there are a lot of programming, what you can say, like Python are there. Then you can go for a Java courses also. Java anyway, it's from my time also. The Java is still is in a booming state. So you can go for either Python or you can go for either Java. But make sure that we are really clear that you want to pursue it into a coding aspect only.
Thank you, sir.
Next, students.
Yes, sir. Sir, what is the transaction in SAP terminology?
Transaction. Okay. So transaction basically, it can be any. For example, it can be any of the functional, the financial things which is happening into this one, that you can say as a transaction. And the, what you can say, in SAP terminology, when we are talking that, we used to execute certain transaction codes, like certain what you can say, certain small, like SA38 for any background job check, for anything like small stuff. Also, we used to execute certain transaction codes. That is also a transaction. So, what kind of transaction you are expecting in your question? Hello.
Yes, Shreya, continue your question.
Yeah, I'm asking actually what kind of transaction you are expecting from in your question actually. The transaction from a financial
Shreya,
perspective or transaction from the SAP transaction code perspective.
Shreya,
Sorry. Hello.
I
I
said
think network issue, I think, from her side.
definitely we will move on to the next question.
Okay. Devanshi? Yes.
My question is, what is the different SAP product?
Different SAP products. Okay. So there are a number of SAP products which are available. One is like which we discussed, that is ERP, that is Enterprise Resource Planning. For that, SAP is giving SAP NetWeaver solution. SAP is giving the nowadays for in HANA stream they are giving a S4 HANA as a complete solution. Then business on suite on HANA, that kind of solution is also available. These three solutions are into ERP product. But many of the times, like in analytics product, there are the analytical products as well from the SAP end, mobile products as well from the SAP end, like a Fury. SAP Fury is a mobile solution which is giving a what you can say, which is actually for the SAP mobility platform. So these are actually the products which SAP is giving. These are the most popular products.
Sorry, sir, it was an issue. My question was about code perspective for transaction.
Code perspective in the sense the code in you meant to say is coding, right?
Yes, sir.
Coding. But I didn't got your question. What exactly the transaction means? Transaction from a coding perspective, like I didn't get you. Because when I told is like from the programming perspective, that is a ABAP, that is a programming language. But I hope you are asking from the programming point of view, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So for the programming point of view, there are the ABAP as a programming language for SAP, what you can say, ERP specific stuff, that is also there. The UI5, what you can say, nowadays for a mobile platform like Fury, the UI5 is also coming. That is a different language, different this one. HANA modeling also coming into HANA specific stuff. So there are a number of programming language you can go for it. So these are actually basically ABAP, then HANA modeling, then UI5. These are actually where we are playing into SAP when we are talking about the SAP programming stuff.
Okay, the next question.
Sir, what
Okay,
are the
sir.
modules in SAP?
Modules. Okay. So modules is basically we discussed that. I'll show you in the slide itself so that you will get it. So what exactly the modules is like? These are the departments. When we are talking about departments, when in your diploma also there are several departments like mechanical engineering department, then computer engineering department, then electronics department. So module in SAP are different departments where the different work to run a daily show, there are these different departments are responsible. Like finance, in finance module, if you are going that, FICO is one module where finance and controlling is clubbed, and this is called that the FICO model or the FICO module. Okay. So in sales department, if you are going in operation, under operation in sales, if you are going, the SD is one of the module. The another module is the material management. The MM, we used to say it as a SAP model perspective. We used to say it MM as a module. Then a quality management, which is actually handling their all quality aspect. That is the QM, the module which is handling a quality management, like a production planning, how exactly the production is going to happen, how the cars will build, or how the raw materials and everything, that will be coming under the production planning material, that is the PP module. So these are actually the different modules which are available in SAP, like HR also. So whenever all these 4 or 5 modules which we have discussed, it is actually what you can say, just an example in the modules which is available in SAP. There are almost more than 50-60 modules are available in SAP when we are talking. But what you can say, the very popular modules are like this, which everyone knows.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, sir. Last question is there. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So, if a student have decided to do a career in SAP ERP after 10th, so in which UG course he should enroll for better career opportunities? Like there is BTech, BCS, BC. In which UG course he should enroll?
See, SAP is basically an industry solution. So for that, definitely you should have a minimum qualification, educational qualification. So when you are talking from the 10th perspective, a 10th graduate, this guy, they can choose any of the career path. Like for example, engineering also they can choose. They can go for a finance like CA, CS, this kind of modules also. They can go. If they want to go, what you can say, from MBA after graduation, if they want to go for MBA courses, they can go for MBA courses as well. So there is no particular education limit is there, what you can say, for SAP, for getting into an SAP market. So even if you are MBA graduate, even if you are engineering graduate, even if you are a commerce graduate, everyone can join SAP in a different module. So definitely after 10th, you have to do a degree course, and after degree course, you have to decide what kind of career path you should have. And once you decide a career path, after that, you can choose any of the modules or any of the certification or any of the courses available from SAP Service Marketplace, and you can take those courses and you can get into what you can say, SAP as a career.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. And I'd like to conclude the session here. First of all, I'd like to thank my HOD ma'am, Poonam Fallu, for always encouraging me to conduct such webinars. Next, I want to thank the head of our institute, Jatin Vaidya sir, for giving me the opportunity to conduct this webinar. And lastly, thank you so much, Prasad sir, for giving your valuable time to us. And I hope students have learned a lot, and the teachers have also learned a lot from your session. And thank you so much for the wonderful session. We had
Yeah.
an amazing time, and we have learned a lot from your webinar. So thank you so much, sir, and we will conclude the session here. Thank you, sir, again.
Thank you so much.